Welcome back to the EgoLess podcast. I've got viral sensation right now, the Michael Jordan of TikTok. That is how competitive he is. I've got Biddl, also known as Denver Biddl. Welcome to the podcast, man. I appreciate being on here.
Man, thank you for having me. It's still weird being called a viral sensation or whatever, but I appreciate that.
Dude, and that's okay. So that's the thing that I want to get to, right? Is a lot of people think that if I can just go viral, if I can just make a hit, like that's gonna be it. It's gonna be everything. When you woke up and you seen your numbers up there, dude, I feel like it's almost like being at the casino, right? Because like, dude, you can make big money off of big money off of social media, and you hit, and it's like, oh wait, is this real? Walk me through that feeling, dude. When you seen those numbers.
It was a process, right? So you want to go back to the beginning. I got on TikTok like the early fall of last year. So like August-ish, September. And I was serious for like a week, maybe 2 weeks. Like the third video that I posted like kind of went viral. It got like 200,000 views. But it was for like the wrong reason. It was like back then there was like some trend where you would like stand in one spot and you would like spin around kind of back and forth, and you would put like all the stereotypes of like this certain archetype or whatever. Yeah. For me, it was local rapper, trying to relate it to music. So I got the views and the likes and whatever, and like oh yeah, that's so true, blah blah blah. But like something like that isn't enough for people to follow you. So I didn't really get followers from that or like anything. It was just kind of like people related to it, shared it, and kept it moving. And then from there, because that wasn't really in my strategy or anything, it was just something that people was posting at the time. So I was kind of all over the place for a while, kind of inconsistent because the numbers were driving my motivation to post. So I was kind of just inconsistent, posting here and then. And then I want to say like February, March, my friend Ryan reached out to me because he was the one that finally got me to make a TikTok in the first place. He's a digital marketer, and he was like, yo, this is the next thing. And I'm like, I know Gary Vee talks about it all the time, but like, I just, no thanks. Like, I don't have the time, whatever. I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
So he invited me in February, March to this Facebook group that was basically all about just a bunch of people like kind of like collaborating and learning from each other and whatnot. The moderator was like this basically TikTok guru. And when I joined, they were doing like this 1 week challenge. Like it was an optional 1 week challenge. You pay like $20 and you're in there for like 7 days. And in there, like every day you had basically like a group Zoom session with a different influencer like every day. And these were people that had, multiple millions of followers. And at the very end of their like presentation or whatever, you got to ask questions, directly with these people. And I don't know what about that challenge. Like maybe it was the fact that it kind of humanized these people because, people with a lot of followers and like celeb status or whatever, you just put them on this pedestal and you think that there's something different about them. But the reality is it's really not. We're all human. We all have that capability to have followings like that. It's just a matter of, what you do, not giving up, all that good stuff. So that interaction basically led me to this like mastermind, which was basically a deep dive into TikTok. You invest like a monthly fee, and it's like TikTok strategy like on steroids. So I was in there I'm still in there. I was in there for about 2 months, just trying to come up with, like a strategy, a content strategy.
Yeah.
And I finally, before I posted my first viral video, I was like, okay, I got something. I think this series that I'm going to do is going to do well. So then I planned it out down to the second because, you only got like 30, 40 seconds. And I filmed the video and crafted the caption, all of that. And I put it out. And it went viral. So like, I don't know, a lot of people were like, oh, you know, you got lucky, or like, that was amazing, or like, you know, that doesn't happen very often. But to me, it was a sign that my hard work had paid off and that I landed on something. You know what I mean?
Bro, that's
Um,
that's huge right there.
what I will say is like, well, at least specifically to TikTok, I know a lot of people see like on these big accounts, they'll see all these videos of multiple millions of views. Um, and like, so probably like later on in their account, it gets a little easier to go viral because they have the following. But like early on, and when people first start out, they like private and delete a lot of videos to make their feeds look, you know, like they're popping and everything they put out is, you know, gold. But like me personally, I'll tell anybody straight up, like I've got at least, I think if you search my name, it'll say I have like 100 something videos. I only got like 20 something on my page, like 20, 30 maybe.
Yeah.
So don't buy into the hype that, you know, these people just put out one video and then, you know, they started out viral and everything they put out is viral. That's just not the case on TikTok or just like in real life. Like you were saying, like nobody ever sees the work that you put in behind the scenes.
What advice would you tell to people who want to, you know, who want to be able to get a, you know, on a following on social media or anything like that? What would be your number one piece of advice for somebody if they want to get into it?
The easiest way to grow all your accounts at once is definitely through TikTok. I haven't really made any huge pushes to any other platform except, you know, maybe Spotify. And everything's been growing. So like in the last, it's been what, like 4 weeks. My Instagram has gone from like 2,100 followers to now I'm about to be at 5,500 followers. My YouTube has gone from I think I was at like 120 subscribers. Now I'm at over 4,000. Um, my SoundCloud's been getting plays, and like I don't even post on SoundCloud. I don't even send people over to SoundCloud. My Spotify has gone up tremendously from like literally getting like maybe anywhere from 20 to 60 streams a day, like 60 on a good day, to now like I've already gone 5 days in a row. These past 5 days, I've gotten over 20,000 streams each day. And from like, I think I was at like 200-ish monthly listeners. Now I'm at over 30,000 monthly listeners.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is it's just 4 weeks. Like TikTok is the most, I guess they call it like the most transferable platform where like they see you on TikTok and they want to look everywhere else for your stuff.
Instagram's freaking hard to break through. Dude, everybody
Super.
posts, you know, everybody posts the same stuff. That leads me to my next question, right? Dude, everybody posts the same stuff on Instagram. What would you say your number one tip is to where it's like to break through that noise, right? Because that first video that you made that, you know, that you got like 200,000, you were following a trend. What does somebody need to do to stand out in the world, right? Because on Spotify, 40,000 new songs are released every day. Like, you know, if you imagine that in a, you know, room full of snowflakes, right, all falling from the sky, you got 40,000. Which one do you pick? That's tough. It's tough to break through. How do you break through that noise?
Yeah, so I would say do something a little different. So what I didn't like reinvent the wheel or do anything crazy. So when I was doing my research, looking at like the hashtags that were basically trying to find every rapper page that I could find of people that weren't already popping before TikTok. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't looking at Russ's TikTok or, you know, Jack Harlow's TikTok. I was looking at people that they grew their following on TikTok. And I'm looking at, okay, the successful people didn't have a bunch of random videos. They had some sort of like, there was some order to the madness that was going on their page. And they either had one or two, maybe three series that, you know, their audience could choose from that they could just, you know, watch. Maybe one was related to music, one was a little more personal and it followed like a storyline or a narrative, but there was always something to follow, right? So I'm looking at the rap ones, and a lot of people did this thing where they would, you know, they would show in one frame, they'd show like the rapper of the original song, working on the song or whatever. And then they walk in the door and it's always like, hey, can I get a verse? Or like, hey, is there an open verse? Blah, blah, blah. And then the other person's like, oh yeah, come on, you know, whatever. And then they get on and do their thing or whatever. So I'm just thinking, okay, what if I just put like a slight twist on that? And what if I like sneak in and you know, kind of add some comedy and add more of a narrative to the story. You know what I mean? I put that idea out first, you know, in my head, and I'm like, okay, well, is that enough to? Can I make that different enough in every single video? I'm like, yeah, I can sneak in a bunch of different ways, and like the person can react to me sneaking in differently. They can be happy, they can be mad, you know, like whatever, you know, based on the song, based on like maybe who the artist is, their personality. I can play off of it. I can make it a long lasting thing. Um, and I ran it by a couple people. They thought, you know, it was a pretty good idea. So I did the first one, and the rest was kind of history, you know. And then like so now every time I make one, I just think of, even before I make it, I'm just thinking of different ways I can sneak in, and different ways that, you know, the artist or the producer or whoever like can react to it. So that's really all you have to do, is just find something that's working, but like put your own spin on it. Because that's like, you know, the saying that like there's nothing new under the sun, and like everything is just a improvement, a slight improvement on, you know, what's already existing. Like even the iPhone, like it was just it was an improvement on something that already existed, which was the phone. You know what I mean? It's like you just have to continue to improve upon what's working.
Last two questions more. Tell me
Yeah.
about what your setup is, right? If somebody wants to get started, do they have to go spend thousands and thousands of dollars? Or tell me what your setup's like, and can they even go more basic?
Yeah, you can go super basic. So like what I have a condenser mic, large condenser microphone. It's called a blue Bluebird. When I got it retail, I believe it was like $400, but I bought it like pre-owned for like 160 or something like that at Guitar Center. Um, the interface I have is a Universal Audio Apollo Twin Duo. That was like, I don't know if it was $700 or $800, but it was a lot. And the one thing that I'm missing that I actually need to go get is it's called a microphone preamp. And I need to get one that's I think if I hit like the excuse me, like the $800 range, I'll actually see a good improvement in my sound quality. But those are the three things that you're supposed to have. Is a condenser microphone, a microphone preamp, and an audio interface is what it's called. And then obviously like a computer program, like or a DAW, digital audio workstation. So like Pro Tools, Logic, Ableton, Studio One, like stuff like that. You can Google that. But if you want to get like super basic, they have condenser microphones that are USB powered, and you can just get one off of Amazon for like, I think I've seen them as low as like 50-60 bucks. You plug that straight into your computer, and then you get one of these computer programs. It doesn't even have to be like a Pro Tools or a Logic. It could just be, I don't know, something free. Like there are programs out there that you can get, that you can finesse for like definitely like 50-100 bucks. And you can start putting music together right away, and you can get started for, you know, total 100-150 bucks really.
You can have the best equipment in the world, but if you ain't doing something different, if you ain't doing something like a little bit better, like it's not gonna be anything. So tell me what's next for Biddl? Like where are you going with all of it?
It's funny because like usually you equate like, you like wait a good amount of time, like the time, or like I don't know how to explain it, but like when you think about monetizing, there's usually a certain amount of time that passes because you're growing at a much slower rate. I'm already at like 500,000 plus followers, and people are talking about monetization. And so I personally, I feel like I have to be really careful with that, because I don't want to just start. I'm just now, like, it's only been 4 weeks. I'm trying to, you know, build and nurture my fan base, my
His
followers.
legacy.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not just trying to, you know, hook and sell. Like, nah, man, I'm trying to build like real fans and like connections with people. So, I mean, I'm definitely going to continue to do the Sneaking in the Studio series. I think that'll never get like people have been doing covers on YouTube and stuff like forever. This is my way of doing remixes. Like remixes are gonna last forever, you know? So I have that set in stone, which is dope. I am working on another kind of series that's a little outside of like just straight rapping. It's gonna be, you know, like telling my story. So working on how I want to present my narrative to people in the midst of me, you know, rapping and whatnot. on TikTok. Off of TikTok, as far as like the music goes, I'm working on an EP that's slowly turning into a project, like an album. I've got like 6 songs, but there are so many other songs that I have that like I have in my mind, like ideas that I'm like, man, I want to add that and that and that, and then 6 is gonna turn into 10, and then 10, like that's not an EP anymore. So like it might turn into an album, but there's a project coming this month or August. And I mean that's kind of it. Like I guess like one of my big immediate goals is I'm trying to set myself up financially so that I can quit my job and then, you know, put more of that time into, you know, my actual craft and the music. But yeah, I'm just taking it one day at a time. Like there's a lot of things up in the air. Like at the end of the day, like me and my wife do want to end up moving to California and things like that. But, you know, baby steps. So I'm looking at the immediate goals that are ahead, which is, you know, building a sustainable income to the point where, you know, we can quit our jobs. And then, you know, just the content day by day. I'm doing two remixes today. One of them's going to drop this week. One's going to drop next week. And I'm just going really day by day. Because once you start to, you know, think about all this extra stuff that people are talking about and going on, that's when you start to lose the vision and you start to, you know, get off track and off focus. And that's kind of when everything goes downhill. So just one day at a time, man.
What is it about that? You know, because I go through some rappers' albums and they've got like 1 or 2 hit songs and the rest are just okay. But it's like, man, why even spend the time with just those okay ones instead of just releasing the fire ones as they come out?
Somebody in a YouTube comment in the video that I was watching, they actually summarized it perfect. So they said singles are for the masses, albums are for fans. To me, singles are like viral videos, right? So they get people hooked and like into your, you know, catalog. But I feel like when you like somebody, you don't really want to listen to a bunch of random singles. Like you want to listen to a cohesive body of work. Like you know what I mean? Because it's a vibe, it's a mood, and people talk about their favorite albums from people. They don't necessarily talk about, the only time they talk about favorite songs is when they don't have enough or they don't have enough albums. You know what I mean? To like really talk about that. But if you think about like, people will be like, oh, I like Take Care Drake. I like Nothing Was the Same Drake. I like Views Drake. You know what I mean? Or I like Damn Kendrick, or I like To Pimp a Butterfly Kendrick. You know what I mean? Like there's still not nostalgia, but there's still like purpose and meaning behind projects, and people do want to be taken, especially in this like playlist culture where their music selection is driven by like mood. So like whether they're going to the gym, whether it's like chill driving at night, blah blah blah, like you kind of want your album to correspond to different moods.
Yeah,
albums they've gotten shorter for sure. You know, they're not like 15 track albums anymore. Now it's more like, you know, 10 tracks, but the basis of it and the principle behind it is still there.
Dude, no, that makes sense because I didn't even think about it that way, but that makes a ton of sense. So, dude, well, I appreciate you being on the podcast. Where can people find you? Like, I mean, I know everybody's gonna find you anyways, but just go. What's your handles?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. And Biddl. So type in Biddl anywhere you listen to music, any social platform. If you type in Biddl3, you will find me. If you're on social media, it's the same profile picture. It's like a light blue background. And I've got like this cartoon headshot of me with a mask on. But yeah, like, you know, Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, Amazon, wherever you can stream music, just type in Biddl, Biddl3, and you'll find me.
They're going to do it. I need you to sneak into the studio on the EgoLess song. Did I send that to you yet? Dude, I appreciate you. I look forward to following you. Big things are coming, bro.
Well, thank you again for reaching out, man, and being a good friend of mine, man.
Absolutely, bro. Big things. All right, Biddl, I appreciate you, man.
Get your ego out the way.